Fine, let's start. So the other day we have started the string data type, and we have seen few examples also, right? So let's continue and see few more string properties. Then we'll go to next data type. Okay. So I think you're already familiar with the basic string slicing. So I think you are good with string slicing, and I've seen few of your answers also. Uh, Fine. So few of the string methods as we can mention over here is okay. See, you have something called as R strip, okay, L strip, okay, and you have only strip, right? So R strip is going to remove spaces at right hand side, so it will remove all the hand spaces will be removed, okay, and spaces removed, okay, both spaces removed, okay. So if you see, for example, you have something called as let's say place, okay, input some place, okay. So and if I say place, okay, let's say print place dot, okay, for example, if I enter space, okay, Hyderabad space, see, as you can see, it is removing both the spaces, okay. And also what you can do here is, if you want to know whether it is removing the spaces, right side spaces, you can just print the length of the string, so that you will be knowing. So for example, if you know length of this, yeah. So as you can see, initially I have given like 5 spaces, so like 2 plus 2 4 spaces, and Hyderabad, so length is 7. And you can see space dot strip will actually remove all the spaces, both right side and left side, okay. And space dot L strip, okay, and R strip, yeah. So as you can see, space dot strip will remove all the spaces, space dot L strip will remove only left spaces. So you can see still you have right spaces over here, so that's why the length is 5. And space dot right strip will remove only the right spaces, okay. That's why if I select also, you're not seeing any blue color highlighting, but if I select here, it's highlighting because there are spaces, okay. But here you have, to the left side you have some spaces, and as you can see, the length is 5. Fine. So these are some basic string methods which you can use, okay. The next thing you have is find and index, okay. Find and index are two string methods, I would say. But actually these both are exactly same, but there is only one difference you have, okay, which will be see. For example, if you have s equal to universe, right? So now if I say s dot, okay, s dot, if I say find er, okay, so it is going to give the starting index of this word, okay. So Yeah. So it's going to give the starting index of this word, like wherever this VER is starting. So if you see the VER, so V, the starting index of V is 3, right? 0, 1, 2, 3. So it's going to give you that. For example, if I say some RSE, right? So it's going to give the starting index of R. Okay. But if I give something called as rows, ROSC, can you guess what it might give? Okay.
Error.
Yeah, no, it will give -1, right? So the one difference between over here is, so if you see, you have find and then you have index, right? Both are exactly same. So if you search for example, if I say we are using index, okay, see, I'm using, sorry, S is universe, S is universe. I'm saying S dot find. So as I said, whenever you are having, this is one of the basic important concept in Python. That is, in Python, everything is an object. Okay, we'll see this in OOPS concept. Everything is considered as an object, right? So that means when you create an object, so that means what you will apply, every object will have some class. Okay, every object will have some class. So when you are creating an object, that means this is belonging to some class. Once it is belonging to particular class, it can use all the methods of that class. Okay, all the methods of that class. Okay, so actually we do it all the time in Python. It's only that we are not aware of it, right? For example, if you see here, I'm saying s equal to universe. Okay, that means what, the moment when I say s equal to universe, that means putting universe in quotes, it is by automatically it will consider it as a string. So when you are using string, the moment s is becoming string, so now string is an, now this s is an object, the universe is an object of the class called as string. Okay, what is a class? Okay, for example, if you see type of s, sorry, yeah, type of s is string. So now string is the class. Okay, now string is the class which is a data type. In that class you are creating an object, right, called as s. Like that you can create any number of objects. So the moment an object is created, it will have the power or the like authority to accept and use all the methods of this class. Okay, only this class. Now string s is an string object, it's not s anymore, it's a string object. Now see, because it's a string object, it will have all the properties automatically available for its usage. Okay, so that's the reason. But when I say s dot index, it will work. So for example, if I say some a equal to 1 2 3 4, now if I say a dot find, okay, 1, it's getting error because int object has no attribute find. Okay, because when you're saying a equal to 1 2 3 4, now a data type of a will be what, int. Now the moment it is int, it can use all int data type methods, and it cannot use other data type methods. So for integer, we don't have anything called as find index, so this is not valid. Okay, but for string, the moment you create something similar like this, putting in quotes and create a string, now that object, this s will become a string object. When it becomes a string object, it can use all the string methods. Similarly, we will see in future classes, like when you create something called as list, the moment it becomes a list, it can use all the list methods because that is belonging to a list data type. Okay, but now list is a class. Now list is a class, and you are indirectly creating one object of list called as 1 23 4. This is one object of list. The moment it becomes list, now it will have all the properties which this particular list data type is already having. This object, this single object, can use all the data types, or sorry, all the methods and attributes of this class. So that's why in every step there is always inbuilt class object relationship that is going on. Okay, under in like somewhere in the undercurrent, but we are not aware. So here also, why I'm explaining this is, but the moment s became string, you will have all the list of all string methods which I have shown the other day, right? So you have some 25 30 string methods, all of those are applicable, automatically applicable to this string, right? So because it now it's become a string object. Fine. So that you should, and Now, S, when you're saying S equal to universe, now it can it will have the access to only all string methods. Okay. Now list, when you create S as a list, it will have access to only list methods. Now you cannot use S dot find for a list object. Okay. So, and you cannot use some list method for a string object, right? So a particular object can use only its corresponding data type methods, right? So if you understand this point, right, it will be very very helpful, because because I was also initially, when you're like learning Python, one of the mistake I made was, I was not sure that, these are like very data specific. So I used to create, for example, I used to create a list. Okay. And I thought I can obviously, like find out some L dot find. Okay. And so I used to use L dot split, etc. for it, right? So but then I understood that, this will be only data type specific, right? So now, one more important point is, now whenever you are having a data type, so the moment when you see a data type, for example, we are writing a long code, and you want to do some operations on in that particular place. First of all, you need to just go and type and see what is the data type actually, right? First, for example, here it is S. The moment you understand its data type, then all the data type, all the methods that are available for that particular data type can be used, right? Then you can just Google it and search, like what particular method you want actually, right? Because if it's a list, usually what happens is, we will create lot of list variables, because there are many useful list attributes or methods available, like you can append, you can delete, you can pop, and etc etc. There are different attributes of list. So for that, first of all, you should have a variable that is a list object. So that's why it's always important to understand each variable data type, because if I know that this is a list data type, then I will have a clarity like what all methods I can use, right? So that's important, one important point I would like to mention. Okay. Now, coming back to here, so here you are having S equal to universe. Now S equal to universe, same thing, S dot find rows, I'm saying S dot as index. Okay, wait, we'll say vr. Okay. So we are getting 3 and 3. Okay. Now if I say uni, now if I say uni, you are going to get same. But if I say rows, okay, you are getting -1. Okay. But if I say rows, you will get an error. Okay. So this is the only difference. Now that means, find S dot find will never give you an error, will never give you an error. If that particular substring is not found, you will get -1. Okay. If it is found, you will get the index, right? But index will give you an error, right? If it is found, it will give you the index, but if it is not found, it will throw you an error. Okay. That's the only difference between find and index in string methods. Okay. Remaining everything will be same. Okay. And let's see. Yeah. So for example, you have one more method called as S equal to, for example, if you take some ABCD, 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 okay, you will have S dot count, okay, you will have S dot count of A, okay, so it's having 3, it will give you the count of particular string, whatever you're giving. So now if I give A and B are also 3, okay, now if I write one more AB, so now count is 5, okay. Now if I say, but if I say, you can also use like the syntax of count is S dot count. Okay. Then inside that you can mention the string substring you want to find. Okay. Comma. If you don't want the whole string to consider, you can just mention start and end index. Okay. So that it will search for this substring in this S string from starting to n-1. This will be always n-1. Okay. So for example, here if I say AB, I'm getting 5, right? So for example, if I consider only till this particular point, till C, what is C? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So that means I will say start from 0 to 5. So that means 0 to 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So till this point only it will consider. So in that, substring, in that index you have two ABs, right? So it should give 2. Okay, so if you don't give anything, it will by default consider the whole string. But if you want to just find out only one some particular location, you can give uh, you need to mention what substring you want to check, and then just start index, okay, and end index till where you want to do, so that it will check till n minus 1. Okay, guys. Okay, fine. So next you have something called as right. So next you have something called as replace. Okay. So okay. So coming to replace, right? So the syntax is, it will say replace. Okay. Now here you will have old string. You are going to replace with the new string. Okay. So now s is a very big. Okay. And you are creating a new string. So where you want to replace, okay, big with small. Okay, now if I print s1, so it replaces, right? So you can see s1 is very small, right? And now here, if you want to mention some only like how many times if you want to replace, I don't remember, but let me see. So for example, if I have big big big, okay, now if I mention everything, it will replace all the bigs. But I think if you mention one, right? So if you mention one, it will you can also mention the count, how many occurrences you want to replace. So I'm mentioning one, so it will replace only one occurrences. So if you mention two, it will mention two occurrences, but the last one is will stay as it is, right? It will not touch, right? So yeah, so replace this will be these methods, right? If you are thinking like why we are studying, where we are going to use. So normally basically in starting time when you're learning Python, so if you have HTTP files, right, so you will have a if you extract a websites, or if you have a lot of Gmails of different people, their emails, if you have, and if you want to just do some formatting on the emails, if you have like 100 emails, right, and if you want to replace some ampersand with something, or if you want to replace some Gmail to Hotmail for etc., and just given use case, then you can just loop through each and every Gmail email address, and you can do the replacing sort of thing. Okay, so then you have something called as then you have something called as split. Okay, so coming to split, right, so you have, for example, if I take the same example, and if I say, usually when I say s dot split, right, and if I, it will split by space. So wherever you have space, it will split by that, right? So that's, and the output is list. Most importantly, yeah, this, see, once you once you're performing certain operation, in which data type the output is getting created is also very important. Because here when we are using, when I'm saying s dot replace, the output, see, let's see what's the output. So when I say s dot replace, the output is string, right? The output is still string. So but if here, if you see, here if you see what happens, s dot split, right? So universe, it is very big. So for example, so we use split. So out of all the data types, right, so what I remember, if I had to mention like one of the some of the important string methods, right? So all are not actually important, but a split we used many times, right? Replace, we use something called as join, we use. Okay, And our find we don't use much actually, right? Find, r find, l find, okay. And count, these we don't use, so they're like basic strings. But split, join, replace we use a lot, okay. And here, if you yeah, so yeah, so if I ask you to just, okay, yeah, so you can also do that way. Fine, I'll show you later. So if you say just s dot split, right, so it will just split wherever you have the space, right? And but if you can also mention something, for example, if I say date equal to, what's the date, so some 11/09, okay, 2023. And if I say d dot split, right, oh, sorry. See, when I say d dot split and I'm giving nothing, so it should split by space, but you don't have any space in d, so that's why you're getting as it is, right? But if I just mention the hyphen, so it is splitting by the hyphen over here, right? So whatever you want, you can mention. So here also I will mention, for example, ease, right? So as you can see, it is splitting with a ease. So universe will be one, and after space whatever you have very big, so that will be one. So you can just say I will split by v, right? So as you can see, v uni will be one. You will not consider that whatever the character you are using for splitting. So after v you have till this is, right? So after that all this will be one, right? So is the split clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So after that, you have something called as join. Okay, so joining. See, guys, as I said, like these are the basic functions, but there will be like few more additions to these. Like you can split only like few occurrences. Okay, you can consider only first three, something, etc. So you can there will always add on extensions, which you can easily find out. But if you are finding anything new, if you are finding anything interesting, you can let me know and ping in the group. But we will be covering all the basic and which are usually used in the projects as far as I've seen. Okay, so splitting will be the one thing, and after that you can have, yeah. So you have next join. So join actually works like this. You will have a separator, okay, and then dot join, and then you will have the group of strings, right? For example, let's say it works like this. So if you are having some yeah, if you say you have a fruit, okay, and I'm giving it apple, banana, pineapple you are having, so these are the fruit, right? So now what I want to do is fruit dot, okay. So yeah, the syntax is separator. So which separator you want to join, okay. So I am joining with hash, okay, hash dot join. I want to join what? Fruit. So the syntax is this. You need to give a separator with which you want to join, and dot join group of strings. So separator is hash dot join fruit. Okay. Now if I do, so as you can see, it is joining like apple hash banana. Okay. It's that simple. Or you if you say uh okay, so if I say, yeah, here if I'll say space is fruit space. Okay. Now as you can see, apple is fruit, banana is fruit, pineapple. Okay, so it's that simple. So joining is just you need to mention the separator you want to join, and then you need to mention the group of strings you want to join. Okay, then after that, see, after that, I will not go into details for these because I think you already familiar, so I don't want to take the time. So you have something called as lower, upper. Okay, then you have something called as swap case, right? Then you have something called as title. It will make into title. Okay, then you have something capitalize. Okay, it will just capitalize, right? So these are basic things, right? I am sure that you are already aware. If you are not aware, then you can just ping me. I'll let you know. Okay, so Then you have something called as yeah, then you have something called as if at all you have see, I'm saying Python is too easy to learn, if I say. And now if I, there is something called as s dot starts with, okay, there is method called something called as starts with, and you need to mention the substring you want to check. So if I say Python, okay, now it's saying true. Obviously this particular is starting with this, but if I say Python, no, it's not starting with that, right? And also similarly like start with, you'll also something called a ends with, okay, ends with. If I say learn, it will say false, but if I say burn, it is false, it is false, right? It's true, it and false, right? So those are the values. And similarly, as you guys yesterday mentioned, you have something called as is all num, that means it will check whether the given string is alphabetical and numeric, right? It's only alphabetic and numeric. That means what? A to Z, small a to Z, capital A to Z, and 0 to 9. No special characters. Okay. So that's the reason in one of the example I see, if I say A equal to 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, D dot, if I say A dot is all num, what I'll get? True, right? True or false?
False, right?
Right. So we have a special character. Okay. It's that simple. Is not. Similarly, you have something called as is alpha, and you have called is digit. Okay. These are all basic. Okay. Is lower, is upper, is space. Okay. Etc. Etc. You have, and you can build up a few string programs also around this, which I've already said. Right. So then I think we have already seen string formatting, right? I think we have already seen string formatting also. Right. How you can print string in different ways, right? Using the f dot f, and you sometimes you can mention the index, sometimes you can mention the actual value. Am I right? Did we cover string formatting?
I haven't
Yes.
gone through the last 30 minutes, Santosh, so I don't have on idea on that.
Okay. Others, do you remember, did we cover string formatting? We have string dot f, okay, or you'll write format, and then here you can give the indexes. Sometimes you can give 0, 1, or sometimes you can mention x equal to y equal to, it will take the value which you are mentioning, which you are using over here. No?
Covered.
Covered? Okay. See, if you see, if you say name equal to, okay, say name equal to Karthik and salary equal to 50K, and if I say age equal to 30, so I think I have mentioned this way. So you can print this. So what you can do here is you can print, uh, I will give this way. Okay, I will just say salary is, age is, okay. I'll do this and I'll just say format, okay, salary, age, right? So if you see in name, salary, age, so name will be replaced here, salary will be replaced here, age will be replaced here, okay. And the order is important, okay. But if I do the same thing, see, but if I do the same thing, if I use 0, 1, 2, right? So you'll get the same thing, okay, you'll get the same thing. But here what is there is, so name will be 0, salary will be 1, age equal to 2, right? So if I can, if I interchange here 1, and 0. So it will be printed as, now 1 is pointing to salary. So this will be 0, this will be 1, this will be 2. So wherever you put 0, that will that will give his name. Wherever you put 1, that will give his salary. Okay. So now you will have the last method where you can actually give some variable names to this. You can give x equal to age and y equal to salary, and for example z equal to age and a name age salary, and in place of this you can use x, y, z. Okay, so now same thing. So in first step it's direct. Obviously you are not using any indexing or you're not using any variable, so order is important. So the first box will be name, second box will be salary, third box will be age. Second, you are going by index, so name will be 0, okay, and salary will be 1, and age will be 2. So you can use it anywhere. So wherever you use 0, it will refer to name. Okay. Third thing, you are using a variable in place of indexing, so x, y, z. So now you can use wherever you want this x, y, z. Okay, these are three different types of formattings. Okay, let me change this to 0 and 1. Okay, salary. These are three ways which you can do the formattings. Okay. And then I think you have seen few examples like how to revert the string, and string examples. I think you're already familiar, like printing the palindromic, replacing something, and just removing the small letters, removing the capital letters. Okay, and joining few things. Okay, etc. etc. I think we are good with strings. Looks like we are pretty good with strings. Okay, guys, can everybody once confirm like if there are any doubts, or if we are good with strings, or if you're having any confusions with the strings? Okay, good with Mohan. So others are having some doubts. Yeah, tell me, Sirisha, what are your doubts? And Meghna,
No doubts.
no doubts? Clear? Everything strings? Okay. Huh? Okay, fine then. We'll next move to something called as list. Okay. So one is to explain sixth problem. Uh, oh, in our, okay, that, okay. Do you have the question? I don't remember what was. Write a program to count the occurrence of each character in a word. That one. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Oh, occurrence, I think we can do by the count, right? So let us try with the count. See, for example, if I say a equal to universe for I in a, what is it? A dot count of I. You can mention the count of, right? Or you can, what you can do here is you can convert this into a, you can take the unique values from this and then loop. That means you will take a set of this, right? And then you will loop it over here. For example, can we convert a string to, can you convert a string to list? List of A. Okay. What will be set of list of A? Okay. Is set subscriptable? see, you are having the set of list of A, right? So you'll have only unique letters. Now what you can do for I in set of list of A, because here it is repeating multiple times, right? Count of A, count of A. So you can do for I in set of list of A, the count of I is A dot counter. So now you will get only unique values of each character. Got it? Okay, fine. So yeah, I'll try to see, I'll try to see if I can send few more examples. Fine. Okay. So Meghana, for you, any doubts in those questions?
10th one I didn't get it, sir.
One, what was the question? No, smallest and largest word, right? I mean, so for example, if you're having, as I said, is very big, not small. So here, say I'll give you the idea. So yes, units is very big, not small. So the first of all, you understood the question. The question is write a Python program to find smallest and largest word in a string, right? So that means small. What is the smallest word in this?
Is
Largest universe,
universe.
right? So you just need to find that. How you can do a simple idea is you can loop through each word, right? You can loop through each word and you can find out the length of that, right? So because since you solved other problems, I don't think this should be difficult for you, Meghna. But is there difficult to understand the question, or you did not like thought of an approach? I'm trying to understand.
If we take count, it means
No, count is different. See, count is for the, see, I'm saying, no, I understood. See, I'm saying largest word and smallest word. That means what? Length of each word, Meghana. When you say count, that means it will give you, let's say if you say count of V, that means it will tell you how many times this V is repeated in whole string. That is different. Now I'm saying, but I'm going by word, which word is having the maximum length. For example, see, for example, I will say s dot split. You can do simply s dot split. Ho gaya, you got the words, right? For I in, okay, for I in s dot split, okay. Now print length of I, you got 824355, okay. Now you can just see which is the lowest one, is which is the highest one, 8. So is the smallest word and 8 is the largest word. Here the count is not, count is for to calculate the occurrences of each letter, each character in the whole string. Now, you don't want that. You're taking the word as a whole. The whole word, you want the largest word. What is largest word? Which is having the maximum characters. But if you say count, you cannot, can you find out the count of only universe in this whole string? In this whole string, how can you find out using count? I don't think you can go with the count, right?
yes, sir, it is length only. అంటే ఇలా నాకు వచ్చింది కానీ ఓన్లీ యూనివర్సల్ లార్జెస్ట్ అనేది సపరేట్ గా ప్రింట్ చేయడం ఎలా అని నాకు అర్థం కాలేదు సార్.
ఓకే, యా యూ కెన్, నో ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ చూసావు కదా, ఎస్ డాట్ స్ప్లిట్ చేస్తే యూ గాట్ దిస్, రైట్? సో దీంట్లో మనకి మాక్సిమం వాల్యూ ఏది? 8. సో నౌ యూ కెన్ ప్రింట్ ద index of 8, right? So that means see, you're having this 8 అండ్ ఆల్సో నా ఇక్కడ నేను ఏం చేస్తా అంటే ఐ ప్రింట్ ఐ కమా ఓకే, సో లెంత్ ఆఫ్ ఐ కదా, సో ఫ్రమ్ హియర్ యూ కెన్ ఫైండ్ అవుట్ ద ఇండెక్స్ ఇస్ జీరో. జీరో ఇండెక్స్లో మనకి మ్యాక్సిమం వచ్చింది కదా. దెన్ నా ఎస్ డాట్ స్ప్లిట్ని నేను లిస్ట్ అనుకుంటా, ఎల్ ఈక్వల్ టు ఎస్ డాట్ స్ప్లిట్. సో ఇక్కడ ఓకే యూ గాట్ 8. సో దెన్ యూ కెన్ డూ ఎల్ ఆఫ్ 0. ఎల్ ఆఫ్ 0 విల్ బి ద highest because it is having the maximum value. Or అంటే నాకు అర్థమైంది. సో వాట్ యూ కెన్ జస్ట్ రైట్ ఎ కోడ్. ఐమ్ గివింగ్ ద అప్రోచ్. యూ కెన్ రైట్ నౌ యూ నో ఏ ఇండెక్స్ ఈచ్ ఇండెక్స్ ఉంది కదా. నౌ ఐ ప్రింట్ ఎల్ ఆల్సో. వెయిట్, సి నౌ యూ డూ స్ప్లిట్, యూ గాట్ దిస్ లిస్ట్. ఓకే, మనకి ఈచ్ ఇండెక్స్లో ఏం వాల్యూ ఉన్న లెంత్ ఆఫ్ ద వర్డ్ అనేది వచ్చేసింది, రైట్. సో దీన్ని యూ కెన్ రైట్ ఎ స్మాల్ లైన్ ఆఫ్ కోడ్ టు క్యాలిక్యులేట్ విచ్ ఇస్ ద హైయెస్ట్. అంటే ఇక్కడ అంటే మనకి 8 2 అలా తెలిసింది, చాలా బిగ్ స్ట్రింగ్ ఉందనుకో. వాట్ యూ కెన్ డూ, యూ కెన్ రైట్ ఎ స్మాల్ కోడ్ టు ఫైండ్ అవుట్ ద maximum value over here, right? The maximum value over here. నీకు maximum value వస్తే దాని ఇండెక్స్ వస్తుంది. ఆ ఇండెక్స్ తోని నువ్వు ఈ లిస్ట్లో నుంచి ప్రింట్ చేయొచ్చు. అర్థమైందా వాట్ ఐమ్ ట్రైంగ్ టు సే?
Yes, sir.
Understood, right? So yeah, I think you can give it a try. ఒకసారి ట్రై చేయి, లేకపోతే I will give you the solution, no problem. So approach is, see, it's simple. So first, but I want to know whether you use s dot split. I don't think you used s dot split, correct?
Yes, sir. I used S dot.
S dot split only. Okay, good, great. So once you do that, right, నీకు లెంత్ వస్తుంది కదా, you just take a ఈ values కూడా you can append to see, I'm just giving approach. So you can say L, I would say length అనేది ఒకటి క్రియేట్ చేసి, ఓకే, you can లెంత్ ఆఫ్ ఐ. ఓకే, సో ఇప్పుడు నువ్వు లెంత్ ప్రింట్ చేస్తే యూ గోట్ 824. ఓకే, దాంట్లో నీకు మ్యాక్సిమం అనే ఒక ఫంక్షన్ ఉంటుంది అనుకుంటా. మ్యాక్సిమం ఆఫ్ లెంత్ అనేది 8 వచ్చింది కదా, మినిమం ఆఫ్ లెంత్ అనేది 2 వచ్చింది కదా. సో దానిలో నుంచి నీకు ఇండెక్స్ వస్తుంది. ఓకే, ఇండెక్స్ అంటే ఎట్లా, మ్యాక్సిమం ఆఫ్ లెంత్ అంటే ఇది. ఓకే, నౌ యూ వాంట్ the index of this maximum of length. Okay, so length dot index of max of length. So I need to check the, yeah, so index of max of length, you got 0. And if you see, మనం ఇది చేంజ్ చేద్దాం. Okay, so for example it is hello next universe is very, okay, if I use this, okay, see now max of length అనేది ఇది వచ్చింది. అండ్ ఇఫ్ యూ ప్రింట్, సి యూ గాట్ ద లెంత్ ఆఫ్ ఇండెక్స్. ఐఎమ్ జస్ట్ టేకింగ్, అంటే ఇది నువ్వు ఇంకా సింపుల్ కూడా చేయొచ్చు లిస్ట్ కాంప్రిహెన్షన్ యూజ్ చేసి, బట్ యాజ్ ఆఫ్ నో వీఆర్ ఓన్లీ ఫోకసింగ్ ఆన్ ద సొల్యూషన్ కాబట్టి యూ డిడ్ ద స్ప్లిట్ చేస్తే మనకి వర్డ్స్ వచ్చినాయి. సో దెన్ యూ వాంట్ టు క్యాలిక్యులేట్ ద లెంత్ ఆఫ్ ద ఈచ్ వర్డ్. సో యూ గాట్ ద length of each word is these are the printing the words. If you don't want to print, okay, I will just skip. So you can just add to one list. Okay, this is my list of length of, this list is telling you the length of each word in my string. Okay, so దాంట్లో నుంచి I will have the maximum value 8, okay, minimum value 2. బట్ మనకి ఇండెక్స్ కావాలి. ఇండెక్స్ అంటే ఏంటి, లెంత్ ఆఫ్ ఈ లెంత్ అనే లిస్ట్లో ఐఎమ్ యూజింగ్ ఇండెక్స్. దేని ఇండెక్స్ కావాలి, మ్యాక్సిమం లెంత్ అనేది 8. ఈ 8 ఒక ఇండెక్స్ వస్తుంది 1. నో 8 is at the index 1 కదా. అండ్ సేమ్ థింగ్ ఇఫ్ యూ సే మినిమం ఆఫ్ లెంత్ ఇండెక్స్ అంటే నీకు 3. ఇది ఇండెక్స్ థర్డ్ ఇండెక్స్లో ఏముంది, 0 1 2 3. థర్డ్ ఇండెక్స్లో 2 ఉంది కాబట్టి 2 is the lowest. Okay, so 1 is the highest, 3 is the lowest, right? So 1. అండ్ మనము ఈ ఇండెక్స్ ఉంది చూసావా, ఈ ఇండెక్స్ మనం ఈ ఇండెక్స్ ఎక్కడ యూజ్ చేయొచ్చు, ఇక్కడ గెటింగ్ ఎల్ ఆఫ్. ఇప్పుడు నేను ఇక్కడ ఎల్ ఆఫ్ ఇది పెడితే ఏమొస్తుంది నాకు, యూనివర్స్. ఇక్కడ నేను ఎల్ ఆఫ్ ఇది పెడితే ఏమొస్తుంది నాకు ఈస్, రైట్. సో యూ కెన్ జస్ట్ రైట్, నువ్వు స్ప్లిట్ చేసిన తర్వాత, రైట్. సో యూ కెన్ రిమూవ్ దిస్. ఇఫ్ ఐ షుడ్ గివ్ యూ ద హోల్ కోడ్, సో ఇట్ విల్ బి జస్ట్ ఓకే. సో ఇది చేస్తావు, ఇది చేసిన తర్వాత యూ విల్ సే ప్రింట్ long word is this one, short word is this one. Okay, see, long word is universe, short word is you are getting simple, you are taking the length. Okay, ఇది as I said, like నీకు సొల్యూషన్ ఏది కావాలో నీకు తెలిస్తే యూ విల్ రైట్ ఆటోమేటిక్లీ ద కోడ్. సో నీకు లెంత్, నాకు ఇప్పుడు లెంత్ కావాలి కాబట్టి నేను ఒక లెంత్ అనేది క్రియేట్ చేసుకున్నా, దానికి అపెండ్ చేసుకున్నా. ఓకే, నాకు లెంత్ వచ్చింది. లెంత్ వచ్చిన తర్వాత ఏంటి, ఇవి లెంత్స్. కానీ దాంట్లో నాకు ఏం కావాలి, ఇండెక్స్ కావాలి. 8 అనేది బిగ్గెస్ట్ లెంత్, 2 అనేది స్మాలెస్ట్ లెంత్. ఓకే, కానీ నాకు ఇండెక్స్ కావాలి. ఇండెక్స్ కావాలంటే నేను ఏం చేసిన, ఈ లిస్ట్ లిస్ట్ కాబట్టి లిస్ట్ డాట్ ఇండెక్స్ లో ఇప్పుడు మనం చూస్తాం లిస్ట్లో ఈ మెథడ్స్. లిస్ట్ డాట్ ఇండెక్స్ లో మాక్సిమం లెంత్, లిస్ట్ డాట్ ఇండెక్స్ లో మినిమం లెంత్, ఇవి వచ్చినాయి. కానీ ఇప్పుడు ఇవేంటి, దీని ఆన్సర్స్ ఏంటి, ఇవి ఇండెక్సెస్, రైట్. లెంత్ ఆఫ్ ఇండెక్స్ అంటే మనకి ఇండెక్స్ వస్తుంది. ఈ లెంత్ ఆఫ్ మినిమం అంటే మనకి ఇండెక్స్ వస్తుంది. ఓకే, ఈ ఇండెక్సెస్ మనకి ఇండెక్స్ వచ్చిన తర్వాత అవి డైరెక్ట్ నేను లిస్ట్లో యూజ్ చేయొచ్చు కదా, ఎందుకంటే ఎల్ డాట్ స్ప్లిట్లో నాకు ఆల్రెడీ లిస్ట్ లాగా వస్తుంది. అంటే హలో ఒకటి, యూనివర్స్ ఒకటి, డిఫరెంట్ వర్డ్స్ లెక్క స్ప్లిట్ అయిపోయినాయి కదా, ద అవుట్పుట్ అనేది లిస్ట్ వచ్చింది కదా. దాంట్లో ఇండెక్స్, ఈ కంప్లీట్ని నేను ఎల్ ఆఫ్ యూజ్ చేస్తున్నా ఇండెక్స్లో. సో ఈ ఇండెక్స్ మొత్తం నాకు 1 లాగా రీప్లేస్ అయింది, ఇది మొత్తం రీప్లేస్ అయ్యి 3 లాగా రీప్లేస్ అవుతుంది. సో ఇట్స్ ఆటోమేటికల్లీ ఇట్స్ కాల్డ్ ఎస్ ఎల్ ఆఫ్ 3. ఇట్ ఈస్ నథింగ్ బట్ ఎల్ ఆఫ్ 1. ఓకే, సో దట్స్ వై నౌ ఇట్ విల్ టేక్ ఫ్రమ్ ద ఎల్ అనేది, ఎల్లో నుంచి ఎల్ ఆఫ్ 1 యూనివర్స్, ఎల్ ఆఫ్ 3 అనేది ఈస్. క్లియర్?
ఎస్ సార్, క్లియర్.
ఓకే, సో ఇక్కడ దట్స్ వై ఇక్కడ మనము ఇది నాకు ఎందుకు పాసిబుల్ అయిందంటే ఎల్ డాట్ స్ప్లిట్ అనేది నాకు అవుట్పుట్ అనేది లిస్ట్లో ఇస్తుంది కాబట్టి నేను ఇదంతా చేయగలిగిన. ఓకే, ఎల్ డాట్ స్ప్లిట్ అనేది అవుట్పుట్ నాకు లిస్ట్లో వచ్చింది కాబట్టి నేను డైరెక్ట్ నేను ఆ వర్డ్స్ ఒక్కొక్కటి తీసుకొని అపెండ్ చేసుకోగలిగిన, మళ్ళీ ఇండెక్స్తోని యూజ్ చేసి బ్యాక్ ట్రేస్ చేసి నేను మన యాక్చువల్ ఎల్లో ఇండెక్స్ యూజ్ చేసిన. సో అందుకే అవుట్పుట్ అనేది నీకు లిస్ట్లో, టప్పుల్లో, ఇట్లాంటి దాంట్లో నీకు వస్తే చాలా యూజ్ అవుతుంది, ఎందుకంటే చాలా మెథడ్స్ యూజ్ చేయొచ్చు. అందుకే ఇప్పుడు అదే మనకి రీప్లేస్ ఉందనుకో, ఇందాక ఏదో రీప్లేస్ యూజ్ చేస్తాం కదా, రీప్లేస్ అనేది మనకి అవుట్పుట్ లిస్ట్లో రాదు. ఓకే, లిస్ట్లో రాకపోతే మనకి ఈ ఫంక్షన్స్ అన్ని యూజ్ చేయలేం. సో నార్మల్గా స్ప్లిట్ ఇవన్నీ రాకపోతే మనం కన్వర్ట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు, బట్ బేసికల్గా స్ప్లిట్, జాయిన్ ఇట్లాంటివన్నీ మనకి అవుట్పుట్ అనేది లిస్ట్లో వస్తుంది. లిస్ట్ అనేది చాలా కంఫర్టబుల్ ఉంటుంది. లిస్ట్ మనం ఎక్కువ లిస్ట్ యూజ్ చేస్తాం కాబట్టి లిస్ట్లో ఒకసారి వస్తే మనం దాంతో ఆడుకోవచ్చు, ఇది చేయొచ్చు, అది చేయొచ్చు, కన్వర్ట్ చేయొచ్చు, అపెండ్ చేయొచ్చు, ఏదైనా చేయొచ్చు, మనకు కావాల్సింది ఫంక్షన్ రాసుకుంటూ పోవచ్చు. ఓకే, సో ఐ థింక్ వీఆర్ గుడ్ విత్ దట్. సో లెట్ మీ జస్ట్ క్విక్లీ స్టార్ట్ విత్ basic list. Okay, tomorrow we will see the complete I would say the functions of the list. Okay, list ఈ data types అనేది చాలా సింపుల్ ఉంటుంది. Okay, don't worry. Right, so see, but to start with the list, okay, I would like to say actually ఇప్పుడు ఉంది కదా, ఇప్పుడు లిస్ట్ ఉంది, టప్పుల్ ఉంది. ఓకే, మనకి యాక్చువల్గా ఫస్ట్ టైం నేను కూడా చూసినప్పుడు వేరే ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ లాంగ్వేజ్లో ఐఎమ్ నాట్ షూర్, బట్ ఐ విల్ సే అండ్ మోర్ ఇన్ అదర్ డేటా టైప్స్, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ జావా. సో అపార్ట్ ఫ్రమ్ నార్మల్ స్ట్రింగ్, ఇంట్, లాంగ్ ఇంట్ అలా కాకుండా డూ యూ హ్యావ్ దిస్ ఎనీథింగ్ రిలేటెడ్ టు లైక్ నాన్ చేంజబుల్ లిస్ట్, టపుల్, సెట్ అలా ఉంటాయా?
నా నాలెడ్జ్ ప్రకారం అయితే లేదు సంతోష్.
ఇది
నా నాలెడ్జ్ ప్రకారంగా అయితే లేదు, కానీ లైక్ మేఘ్నాస్ ఇది కొంచెం చెప్పాలి ఇక్కడ.
ఓకే, అయితే వాళ్ళకు కూడా జావా టచ్ లేదు అనుకుంటా. మీకు జావా టచ్ ఉందా మేఘనా, శిరీష?
లైట్ గా బేసిక్ లెవెల్ వరకు తెలుసు.
ఓకే, యా, బట్ నాకు తెలిసినంత వరకు అయితే వేరే ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ లాంగ్వేజ్లో, అంటే నాకు వేరే ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ లాంగ్వేజ్లో డెప్త్గా తెలీదు, బట్ నేను చూసినంత మట్టుకైతే ఇంత డిఫరెంట్ డేటా టైప్స్ అయితే లేవు. సో అందుకే మనకి పైథాన్ చాలా హెల్ప్ఫుల్ అవుతుంది. సో ఎందుకంటే ఇప్పుడు చూడండి, స్ట్రింగ్తో మనకి ఇన్ని మెథడ్స్ చూసినాం కదా, యూ కెన్ ప్లే విత్ స్ట్రింగ్, ఇంట్ ఈజ్ ఓకే డిఫరెంట్. లిస్ట్లో యూఆర్ హ్యావింగ్ లిస్ట్, టపుల్, సెట్, డిక్షనరీ. ఓకే, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ జస్ట్ గివ్ ఓవర్ ఇట్. Okay, list and tuple are exactly same. Okay, but we have seen in the first class, tuple is immutable. Okay, once you create tuple, you cannot change it. Okay, from all these four, tuple is immutable. You can change everything. Tuple you cannot change. Okay, list is exactly same as tuple. All the functions, once you cannot change it, okay, so you will have only limited number of functions. Okay, that means something important. Okay, you want to store, for example, password, something like that, right? You can tuple it. Okay, once you create tuple, then obviously that's not going to get changed, right? List is very basic thing you are going to use. Okay, set lo endante it will not accept duplicates, right? Each data type will have its own unique properties. So that's the importance, or the, I can say, beauty of these data types, right? So manaki set lo you it not accept data types. Simply if you are having any list అనేది ఏది ఉన్నా, so you can just convert it to list set, so it will remove duplicates. And dictionary is extremely important, I would say. డిక్షనరీలో మనకి కీ వాల్యూ పేర్స్ ఉంటుంది, రైట్? ద హోల్ మీకు అవుట్పుట్ అనేది పైథాన్లో మీకు కంప్లీట్లీ డిక్షనరీలో ఉంటుంది. బిలీవ్ మీ, మీరు ఎక్కడికి వెళ్ళిన ఏ జాబ్లో అయినా స్టార్టింగ్లో దే విల్ సే సంథింగ్ కాల్ ఎస్ జేసన్. ఓకే, ఇన్పుట్స్ అంతా మీకు డిఫరెంట్ టీమ్స్ అన్ని జేసన్స్తోనే ఇంటరాక్ట్ అవుతాయి. దే విల్ సెండ్ యూ సమ్ జేసన్, ఈ మోడల్కి జేసన్ ఇన్పుట్ లాగా వెళ్తుంది, అవుట్పుట్ జేసన్ లాగా వస్తుంది, అంతా జేసన్ ఈస్ నథింగ్ బట్ డిక్షనరీ. ఇఫ్ యూర్ గుడ్ విత్ డిక్షనరీ, you will use JSON. Because in my previous projects, for yesterday also I was working on dictionaries or JSON, right? So dictionary you should be extremely perfect, and it's very fortunately it is very easy. These things are not that hard to understand. Okay, now coming to list, let's have a basic understanding of list. So first thing is, so obviously since you already know, but still I'll just mention few points and we'll see few methods. So the basic thing how you can use a list, create a list, is by using the square brackets. Okay, it is a group of individual objects. Okay, and when I say individual objects, so you can have some objects. Okay, at least I'll say just L1, L2, L3. Okay, now this L1 could be anything. L1 string ఉండొచ్చు, L1 again int ఉండొచ్చు, L1 could be one more list, L1 could be one more tuple, anything is possible. Okay, so it should be some single item. Okay, fine. So once you do that, you will have, this is how you can create the list. And second thing is order is preserved. Okay, it's called order is preserved. Why I'm mentioning this is, in set you will see, in set order is not preserved. And when you are creating some list, capital L equal to L1, L2, L3, when you print, it will show you L1, L2, L3 only. It will not show you L3, L2, L1. So manaki order atu itu kaadu, order is preserved. Okay, so and second thing is dupes are allowed. Okay, dupes are allowed. You can mention duplicate values also. Okay, why I'm mentioning this? Because set lo manaki duplicates are not allowed. Why? Okay, it will just remove, right? And you can it is mutable. But most important point of list is mutable. Okay, mutable is very important point for any data type. ఎందుకంటే ఒకసారి it is mutable, that means you can change. ఒకసారి చేంజ్ అనేది వచ్చింది అనుకో, మనకి ఏమొస్తుంది, యాడ్ చేయొచ్చు, డిలీట్ చేయొచ్చు. ఓకే, సో చేంజ్ అంటే ఏంటి, యూ కెన్ యాడ్ అండ్ యూ కెన్ డిలీట్. సో దానికి యాడ్కి ఒక ఫంక్షన్ వస్తుంది, డిలీట్కి ఒక ఫంక్షన్ వస్తుంది. అండర్స్టాండ్? సో లిస్ట్ అనేది ఇప్పుడు ఒక లిస్ట్ ఉంది అనుకో, ఇఫ్ ఐఎమ్ సెయింగ్ ఇట్ ఇస్ మ్యూటబుల్, దట్ మీన్స్ యూ కెన్ చేంజ్, దట్ మీన్స్ యూ కెన్ యాడ్, యూ కెన్ డిలీట్. సో obviously you will have a function, to add, you will have a function to delete. Okay, you will add a function to insert. Okay, once it is changeable, mutable, so obviously all of these options are obviously possible, right? You will have something to remove, even not just say. Okay, there are different types of things, right? But tuple వచ్చే వరకు we'll see tuple is immutable. You cannot change, you cannot add, you cannot delete, right? Obviously there are no all these options available for tuple. We will see that, right? I'm just telling you. So based upon the data type, based upon its nature, what all we can do with this list. Okay, there are all different types of methods which you can use this. Okay, so right, so for example, if you see, as I said, I'm saying L equal to, you can use one integer, you can use one string, and you can use one float value. Okay, that's completely fine. Okay, you can print L, obviously L of 0 will be this. Okay, now unknown, what will be L of 1?
This will be H, right? I'm sorry, I was on mute.
H, right?
I'm sorry. E. Oh, okay. E.
Oh, sorry. Oh, correct. E.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So it's a multi-indexing. So you go obviously. So now if I say I think you can clearly understand 0, 1, 2, 3 of 3. Now
It will be by, right?
By
3 of 3 of 3 of 3. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, it will be E, Santosh.
E. See, this is it should go by multi-indexing step by step, right? So what is L? L is this. So in this, this is 0, 1, 2, 3. So first L of 3 is, yeah, first L of 3 is this one, this list. Agree? In that again, you should go one more indexing. That means in this list you have this is 0, 1, 2, 3, right? Now 3 of 3 is by. Okay.
Right.
Now in that by you are using one more 3. That means in this by. So B is 0, Y is 1, E is 2. There is no 3, right? So now what you will get? You will get an error. This is out of index. So since it's not empty, you will get an error, right? But if I say 2, it will be?
It will be E.
The E. Oh. So 1, 2, Y. 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. And oh, did I print that? Okay, I did not execute that. Okay. So now you're getting E. Okay. So like that. So if I do 0, B. So it's just multi-indexing. Okay, cool. Right. So you have right. So I'll just give you a tell you like what all data types we are going to cover in list, and we are going to see that in detail tomorrow. So tomorrow I would like to say let's take 1 day or mostly half day for each data type so that we can cover we can close the data types soon. So we are going to see list low. See list low. These are all pretty simple, but still see in list, right? So first one we are going to see is length. Okay, these are self-explanatory. So as you can see, but I'll just show you examples. And next thing you are going to see is count. Okay, you have something called as count. Next thing you are going to see is index. Okay. Next thing is you're going to see here. See, actually, these are further divided. So, see, I'll tell you. So you have something called as append. Okay. Then you have something called as insert. Okay. Then you have something called as extend. Okay. Then you have something called as remove. Okay. Then you have pop. Okay. Then you have reverse. Okay. Then you have sort. Okay. So these are the methods, the very simple methods. Okay. And very important methods. And I'm again iterating. These are only applicable to that particular object if you define them as string. Only if you say some L equal to, if you put it in square brackets and define something like this and close it to square brackets, only then this will become a list object. Only when it is list object, all the list methods or attributes are applicable. If these are not applicable for any other data type. Okay, that should be very clear, right? So once you do this, right, so you can do all this. So you have length, count, index, all this. So these three are called as to get some information from the list. Okay, to get in some information to tell you length, count, etc. These are for manipulation. Okay, these are for some manipulation. You are doing some manipulation. Okay, on the list you are appending, inserting. Okay, and these are for ordering. Okay, so you are doing some ordering, you're doing reversing, and you're doing some sorting. Okay, now I'm telling you, if you are these are very very simple methods, and if you I will show you examples tomorrow, and if you are good with only these methods, right, it is more than enough, and you can do anything with list. You can just simply play with list. Okay, and it will be very very easy for you to write long codes. Okay, now you will get ideas like how you can create a variable, how you can append it, how you can index it, right? So just now I was writing this code, right? So I don't know the solution of that, but based upon the requirement, right, so you will just get a thought, okay, I should create a variable, just write it, append, you'll again you'll do the indexing, then you will write inserting, then you'll write, we'll see pop. Okay, just these simple, like how many, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, okay, 8 9 10, okay, just 10 simple methods of list. If you are good, then you can literally play with list, and list will be very 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 useful, and you will use it many number of times. Okay, so then, right, so that would be the topic, I would say, for tomorrow, right? So once that is done, we will quickly cover tuple data type, and then we'll cover set methods all, and they'll cover dictionary uh, data types, right? So with that, I would say we will be good with the data types. Then you can understand something called as functions better. So once we understand functions, we are going to see some examples of modules. Okay, and then we are going to enter oops concept, right? So we'll plan to do it this week, but let's have a good knowledge of data types, right? So I'll see if I can send you oh, okay, tomorrow after completing list, I'll try to send you a few questions that would be helpful for the practice. Okay, fine guys, so that's all for today. So anybody, any doubts, questions, concerns, feel free to ask, or I think we are good, right? Okay, chalo, thanks, bye.
Thank you all.
Okay, bye. Meghana, any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay, thanks, bye.